Hey Brickheads, Scott with 36 Bricks here. Super excited as we're expanding the Lego City. That's right, we're adding new tables. Been meaning to do it for a couple years, have had the materials for a couple years, and now we're going to do it. So let's get her done. All right, guys. So as you know, in the last video, the Lego room got flooded and mudded, so it looks way better. You can kind of still see it's a little dirty. I'll be cleaning that up, but ultimately, it left us with enough room for a table here and a table here. And I've been meaning to build out those tables. It's just, life gets ahead of you. Life gets in the way of some of the things that you want to do, and you just haven't been able to get them done. And that's the case in for me. So because I had to, I was kind of forced to clean everything up and get everything situated, it gave me the opportunity to rearrange my tables and arrange them to where I can actually, add more to it. So we're going to be adding two tables here. Just got to make all the cuts, and then like I said, we have all the materials. I have plenty of wood, and again, let's get her done. All right, guys, so just want to do a little voiceover work while I'm cutting these out. So I'm measuring these out, doing different lengths. So for the legs, I did one 2x4 with the length of 29 inches. And then the second, I did 26 inches. And that will make up one leg. So essentially, you have the regular leg, and then you have the underlined support leg. Then for the cross sections to make up both legs, I cut 46 inches in length, and then I screwed those in. I took two of those and screwed those in to make one side of the table, and then I obviously duplicated that, making a second side, and that makes up the legs of the table itself. Then on the major cross beams, they're 97 inches long to make up the actual table, and then the melamine top is essentially 97 inches long by I believe 49 inches or something like that deep. And then the bottom one is slightly less. I believe it's like 92 inches instead. So I have a tabletop on the top, and then I have a lower shelf for storage. So I went ahead and cut both tables all at once. I am planning on doing another table, as well as probably like a sorting table of some kind, or review table. But that is my plan for the future. But as I cut through these, because I've done it in the past, it was a lot easier than when I've done it before, and a lot more fun because I wasn't having to. There wasn't a whole lot of trial and error. I knew how to do it, and I've done it before, so it was fairly easy. The toughest part is finding wood that was straight. That's what she said. No, the issue is that a lot of this wood had been sitting in my garage for at least a year, maybe two, and as such, over time, wood wears. It tweaks and bends and twists and all that kind of fun stuff. And I wanted to make sure that each of the pieces of wood were fairly straight. Obviously they're never going to be perfect. Even once they're cut in the mill, they're never perfect, but at least I could get them to a point where they're fairly straight. The other pieces that I did was with the scraps. I didn't measure them out or anything. I did do 90-degree angle, or I think it's 90 degree, whatever the slope is. Excuse me. I did those just to add extra support from the leg to the table. And those are being put on. They're not going to be put on during this video, but it kind of gives you an idea of the process and all of that. So I made my cuts first. I measured several times before making the cuts just to make sure. And then I made sure that I was consistent on my cuts where I was either cutting on the line or on either side of the line. Typically, I cut on the far side of the line just in case, because if I need to scrap that, 1/8 of an inch or something like that, I have that. Versus if I cut it too short, then the wood piece is done, right? So that's kind of my process. Like I said, I cut all the pieces, and then I just started kind of working with them and setting them aside, made sure that I bundled them each to the different measurements, and Bob's your uncle. There you have it. The work and the cuts are pretty much all finished. So, really excited about the process, and it was a lot of fun. All right, guys. So as you can see, I've got all my wood that I think I need, other than the two long pieces. So if we come over here, there is two long pieces. One here. Well, there's actually four per table. So one here, and then doubled on the other side. I realized rather quickly that the wood that I have isn't long enough. So this is roughly, I think, 97 inches, and these are all 92. So I'm short 5 inches. That's what she said. Anyway, so we'll have to, jump over to, a lumber yard or a big box store, pick those up, and get those situated. The cool part about it is I have all of the cuts done for both tables, as far as I know. So what that'll mean is the moment I get back with those, I just have to screw everything together. So yeah, it's actually going rather quickly. It's I started, I think, about 9 o'clock. It's about noon, so it took me a couple hours. I didn't just do the rough cut or the cuts. I did a few other things in that time as well. But yeah, I mean, sorry, this cord's in the way. So yeah, that's what we got going. So good part about it is we should have those two tables done by today. So these will be out of here and all of that, and then we can actually start organizing the city, which will be a completely different video because there's a lot that I got to do. So I'm actually excited. Things are rocking and rolling. Cool. All right, guys. So as I waited to go to the big box store to get lumber, I was just started assembling legs. I was waiting because I ended up going with my family, so I ended up waiting a little bit so that we could all go together, have some lunch, and do some running around. So as you can see, I'm putting in four screws every single time. I'm doing 2-inch screws. I am pre-drilling everything so that the wood doesn't split. And I don't know what length of drill bit I'm using or anything like that. I'm not a carpenter, so bear with me. But in this, as you can see here, I am screwing in the 29-inch long legs to the, or 2x4s to the 26-inch long 2x4s so that I can make the official leg. And again, I'm screwing in 4 screws, about 2 inches long, into each of the sides. So each leg will have 4 screws minimum. That way there's enough holding power or anything like that, and I don't have any issues as far as like stability and all that kind of fun stuff. The other thing to note is I'm really taking my time. Like I said, I'm pre-drilling everything because what I learned last time was I wasn't pre-drilling. Like I started to not pre-drill stuff, and as I went ahead and did that, I was having problems with wood splitting or the legs splitting, and it wasn't coming out right. So because the tables were warping, because they weren't, the wood was splitting and the screws weren't holding and all that kind of fun stuff. So I wanted to make sure that I took my time, even though I was on a time crunch because I was only off for the week. Um, so I needed to make sure that I got these tables done in a timely manner. I still, again, took the time to make sure that I was, pre-drilling the holes, making sure that I wasn't just forcing the screws in. I was actually taking my time screwing them in to ensure that the legs themselves didn't get damaged. Because obviously, if they got damaged, then I would either have to redo them or I would have to, replace them at a certain point or any of that stuff. One of the issues that I did have, I bought some off-brand batteries for the drills, which I do regret because the batteries suck. But all in all, the overall table build was very smooth, very easy, and it's because I've done it before. So it made it for an easy transition and pretty much smooth sailing. Now, as you can see, like sometimes, it's always great to have extra drill bits on hand. Um, the reason why is because sometimes they overheat and break, or sometimes the screw bits break. You just want to make sure you have a bunch on hand just in case. All right, so at this point, I've gone to the big box store. We've come back. It is getting a little late, so I am kind of putting the pedal to the metal a little bit. But as you can see in my truck, grabbed all the long pieces. I grabbed more than enough. I grabbed enough for all three tables. I will probably be building out the third table pretty soon. All I need is the melamine tops, which I should have just got at the time, but I waited. But I am going to go back to the store and grab those melamine tops. I'll probably grab, I don't know, I'll probably grab three of them and then make a small table for the sorting table. But anyway, so this is basically what I'm doing is now that I have the legs done, I'm adding the cross beams, the side cross beams to give the table depth so that I can finish one side of the table or one, upright leg of the table. I don't know what they're called. I'm just bullshitting at this point. Uh, but that's if you're listening. But anyway, so that's kind of my mindset is, and again, I did 4 screws, just to make sure I had, the clutch power and the holding power. What I also did use was I used a couple of the, um, grip, fasteners or grips, to hold them down because as I screwed one side, the other side would shift. So clamps. That's what they're called. I clamped them down so that they wouldn't move. Now, as you can see, it looks a little wonky. So on the top section, I have the pieces in like basically crosshaired, but then on the bottom, I have that extra piece of wood, and that's going to hold the bottom shelf. So I wanted to make sure that I put those in because last time I didn't put those in until after the fact and it made it a little bit more difficult. So as I was building the legs, I added, the one on the inside to hold the bottom shelf and then the one on the top to hold the actual tabletop. And it worked out really, really well. It just made it so much easier. And with the bin, the bin table that I made for the t-shirt bins, it actually made it really simple and easy to just put it on there because it's my height and all of that kind of fun stuff. So was really excited about that process and how I was able to work that out and get that situated. So pretty excited about that. Um, it made it very simple and easy. So as you can see here, I'm crossing the beams, I'm making the legs. I need, of course, 2 per table, and I made 4 of them in order to make both tables. So that was kind of my process on that. Just kind of drilling those through and making sure that all the screws were fully screwed in. Again, pre-drilling to make sure that there was no wood splittage or anything like that. and everything was going to hold rather nicely. So again, pretty excited about this. I mean, I've been wanting to build these tables for a couple years now, never got around to it. Life happens. And then now I really put the pedal to the metal and got them done. Now, for the most part, as you can see, time is getting to us. It is getting quite a bit darker. And of course, I don't want to upset the neighbors, so I'm trying to finish as soon as possible. So as you can see here, I'm putting in the cross beams. The 97-inch cross beams that go from one leg to the other. I finished all four, and then and it actually was really nice because I did them upright, so they're standing, and then the table, the bin shelf table that I built, actually worked really well to to balance everything and make sure everything was good. So that was a lot of fun. And I made sure that everything was tightened. With this, when you do this, you do have to be careful not to hit other screws because that can be a rather difficult thing. And so that was kind of an interesting fact because, when you're pre-drilling stuff, if you hit a screw, the drill bit is going to break. If you drill and you hit another screw with a screw, then obviously the screw doesn't go in any further. So that becomes a problem. So I had to really be careful to make sure that everything was screwed in properly and where it was supposed to. All right, guys. So as you can see, I brought it in to the room so that I could finish up. Really wanted to get things done and muffle the sound, not to upset neighbors. So brought everything in and started again pre-drilling. Had all of that stuff done, and then just started working on the table and really nailing down and screwing everything in and making sure everything was flush and all that kind of fun stuff. So I just made sure that I again fastened everything, made sure that screws didn't run into each other, or I went very slow because I didn't want to break any drill bits. Because again, what happens when you're screwing in the drill bits is if they break, they're going to break inside the hole, which means obviously you have to drill a new hole. And the more holes you drill, the weaker the wood gets. So I wanted to minimize that and really focus hard and make sure that I was doing it right. I was being patient with the build and all of that, just in like I would in general with Lego and all that kind of fun stuff. But it was a lot of fun. So as you can see, I'm putting in the cross beams, securing those down, again, using 4 screws at every point. Other than the center cross beams, obviously it's a 2x4, so you can only fit 2 screws on each side in the center supports. But all in all, really happy with the table. It's coming together really nicely, and there's not much to it but to do it, really. You just kind of have to get it done, just like with any build, anything that you're working on. There's really nothing to it but to do it. You just got to buckle down and get it done, and that's the key part about it. So, and that's what makes it a lot of fun is you work on it until it comes together the way you want. And if it doesn't come together the way you want, then you make changes and all that kind of fun stuff. So, if I haven't mentioned, please like, share, and subscribe. If you like my content and want more, please consider joining one of my memberships, as every little bit helps and goes right back into the channel. Want to help support more? Check out my merch stores, donate to the channel, all that kind of fun stuff, because everything goes right back into the city, whether it's to help fund the tables, it's to help fund the drawers that the parts go in, help fund the parts themselves, all of that kind of fun stuff. And if you can't afford a dollar here, a dollar there, just like, share, and subscribe. All of that adds up, and it really does help the channel. So I do want to thank you guys for watching. I really do appreciate all the love and support. It really, really does mean a lot that you've taken the time, energy, and effort to watch my content, enjoy it. Comment below. Please, please, please comment below and hit that like button. So Back to the build. We're just having fun. All right, guys. So other than the bottom shelf and the top shelf, this is done. That's right. This bitch is done. Super excited about how it turned out. It actually, I felt like it went together way faster. So on this one, I'm going to pull out one of these, plop it on, screw it down, and then I will figure out the bottom because I'll need to run measurements, cut that down a little bit, and go from there. Should be easy. Now, the second one, again, I have pretty much all the pieces already done. I do have to cut more of these. I think I need to cut 4. Yeah, I think I need to cut 4, which is no big deal. The way I did it was fairly easy. It has the wheels on it. I don't have the adjusters yet that I need to put on it. It will probably need to be adjusted for sure, because if you look at the table, you know, this side is higher than this side for whatever reason, but that's not anything that isn't an easy fix. So again, pretty excited. Just got to put the 2 layers on, and then, you know, hopefully another 2 hours and we done. All right, guys, so there you have it. 1 table down, 1 table to go. As I've told you, I already have all the pieces cut, except for I need to cut those 2 in half for the support cross beams. Oh, I do need to put the those pieces on. I'll do that later because I really want to get, because that I can do at night where it's muffled, versus I need to get all the 4 pieces cut and then put it all together so that I could cut that piece and get it finished. So again, nothing to it but to do it. Still rocking it out. We got a little rain. The weather kind of sucks, but you know what? I'm trying to get it done before we're supposed to get like a couple of days rain here, and then it's going to stop for a couple days, and then it's going to rain for like 5 days straight. So we'll see how it all turns out. See if all this cleanup was for nada. Hopefully not. All right, guys, super excited. We got the 2 tables done. That's right. So went ahead and I already started putting stuff down there, but so now we have 2 more tables. So at this point, the city spans 16 feet by 12 feet in space. So super excited about that. So we added the 2 tables. These tables are a little rough around the edges because of the mud and stuff. I do have to still add in, you can kind of see over here even more so, there's a lip. So I definitely have to add in the adjusters so that I can level the tables and make sure everything's solid on them. But man, it looks so great. So super excited. Added essentially 8 feet by 8 feet to the city tables, which gives me a lot more room. And I still have room to, you know, walk around the city and do adjustments. Obviously, you know, there's a lot here that needs to be filtered through. I need to add the cities. I want to add a mountain range, all that kind of stuff. And lo and behold, there's still a table and a half of space. So I can definitely put a table here. It would span 4 feet out, so I can add a table there. And then as we come around this side, there's probably a 4 foot by 4 foot space here that I could add a table. And I'm thinking if I add a 4 foot by 4 foot space here, it would probably be more for, you know, giving reviews and stuff like that, but not exactly sure. So come back around. But there you have it. 2 new tables into the city. Have the 2 tabletops on top, and then of course the underneath for storage. And it gives me a lot of room. So again, still got a lot to do for my city to revamp it. you know, get it all structured and situated, ready to go. But all in all, man, it's a lot of more space. That's a lot more buildings. There's a lot more, you know, to it that I can add on to. And I mean, this is all condensed. It doesn't have roads or anything, but there's still, even on the 4 existing tables that I had, there's a lot of space that I can add to, or do stuff with. So pretty excited about that. So there you have it, guys. Thanks for watching. I really do appreciate all the love and support. It really does mean a lot that you've taken the time, energy, and effort to watch my content, follow my city as it progresses and grows and all that kind of fun stuff. And clearly we're going to run out of room, because, you know, I can fit one more table, but then, you know, 1.5 tables maybe, but then that's it. So we'll have to really think about what we have, what we want to include, and all of that, from here on out. So, it's going to be a fun year. It's going to be fun times. Still going to add some ocean and, like I said, some mountain ranges and all of that fun stuff. But, you know, that's part of the process. That's part of the program. So, again, thanks for watching. Really do appreciate all the love and support. And we will see you next time on 36 Brix. Did you like that video? Please like, share, and subscribe. If you like my content and want more, please consider joining one of my memberships, as every little bit counts. Want to see more? Check out this video. Or, well, shit, maybe this video. That video. Check out all my videos on my YouTube channel. And if you want to hang out during live streams, come do that too. Thanks for watching.